Friends, 15th May is International Day of Families. Now, why am I mentioning this? It is because whenever I see problem, I have to take the side of the powerless. This is the principle on which even judiciaries work. For example, if there is employer and there is an employee, if there is a case between these two people, then the court or the law first sides with the employee because it is perceived that the employee is powerless between the employer and the employee. The employer has more control and more power and more, more position and more capacity to control the situation that could have prevented this case or any issue that might crop up. That is the perception. So what the law says is, let us be on the side of the employee first and foremost, unless proved otherwise. And then if the owner or the employer is able to prove that there is no fault on his part, then we will see what are the facts and whether the employee is actually at fault. Similarly, in the case of men and women, it is the perception that men are at an advantageous position and women are not. That men are oppressors and the women are not. So the laws are saying that women are a protected class of people. So they are a different group. See, when you talk about equality, they don't say men and women are equal. They say men and women are equal only in the circumstances where women is to benefit. Men and women are not equal when the woman is not going to benefit from that kind of principle. The laws are saying that laws are important because we as a society, they represent the collective will of the society, the collective stance that the society is taking. So the laws are saying that first and foremost, if there is a problem between men and women, anybody is bringing this issue to court, then let us side with the woman and question the man first to prove his innocence, then let us talk. So when this is already there, why am I talking about the International Day of Families is because you can see, we can clearly observe worldwide there is International Women's Day, there is International Men's Day, there is International Day of Families. Now, are we celebrating the International Day of Men and International Day of Families with the same vigor, with the same enthusiasm as we are celebrating International Day of Women? I don't see that. What happens is then there is obvious bias somewhere. So I need to address that as a parent. A monk is a parent and a nun is a parent for the whole humanity. This is my understanding. Then I need to call it out. Now, whether I am afraid or not, see, I have no say in whether I would be born as a man or a woman, right? So being born as a man should not be held against me, and we are not holding anybody's birth against them ever. Okay, in the sense, unless you are bringing reincarnation and karma theory into place, that is a different discussion anyway. But in general discussion, rational discussion, we are never bringing the birth of any person to that person. What we are saying is, the point here is that if it is very clear that Women's Day is celebrated with much more enthusiasm than Men's Day or the Day of Families, okay, you don't want to celebrate the Men's Day. What is the problem with celebrating the Day of Families? What is the problem with celebrating the Day of Families? Because families means everybody together, right? So why are we not celebrating International Day of Families with the same enthusiasm as we are celebrating the Day of? Because this whole thinking itself is divisive thinking. You divide society into rich people, poor people, middle class people, into people who are women, people who are men, and to people who are so-called higher caste and lower caste. There is nothing higher and lower, but anyway, it is all created, but that is still being recognized like that. And people who are of particular one religion and another religion, like that. So the whole problem is in this thinking is that there is always the psychology, the recognition that one group is oppressor, another group is the oppressed. So there is victimhood there. So whenever there is victimhood, there is the great desire to have vengeance on the people who are perceived oppressors. They may oppress, they may not oppress. Now, you may say that in the history, in the past, this group has oppressed the other group that you are talking about. That is debatable, number one. Even if we agree that, without a debate, just for the sake of argument, that okay, in the past this group has oppressed the other group. Now in the present, is this group oppressing this other group? No. Then let us take away let us stop the practice of seeing this particular group as oppressor group, and this is the oppressed group. So victim also, there is no victim now and there is no oppressor now. Then why are we are continuing? Because we want to celebrate and remember what kind of struggle we have undergone. Okay, you want to remember, you can remember, but why do you have to celebrate it, or why do you have to have a day showing and asserting that this is who we are and this is who? So if you continue, what happens is the innocent people in the group that you are thinking is oppressor, and they are also forced to feel guilty and shameful, and the people who are in the so-called victim group, there also actually criminals are there. So they are made to feel that they don't need to worry about their crimes. They can use this victimhood identity card and then say that it is only a response to what you have done or something like that. They get a pass. So is this practice leading to equality? Is this practice leading to justice? Is this practice leading to unity? No. Therefore, it is wrong. Therefore, we should stop it. Society has gone forward. This is the kind of, so why should I go back? No, the society is a collective voice of people like you and me. So we are individuals, and if we stop it, then society will stop it ultimately. If the society doesn't, it is not in your hands. You are just saying that I want to do this, and if you ask me to not do this, I will say this is not in my hands because society is doing. But why do you have to copy? It is still in your hands whether you want to copy what the other people are doing or not, right? Therefore, what I'm trying to say is, in my children, men are my children, women are my children, children are my children, families is the institution that saves everybody. This institution, people who are actively dividing the society or unity, people who are actively claiming that they are superior in the name of equality. See, okay, equality. If you are equal, then what is the problem? Why do you have to celebrate? The other argument that is heard is that it is on the men's responsibility whether they will celebrate Men's Day or not. Men do not celebrate Men's Day, not because they don't want to feel proud of it, but they realize it is silly to feel proud that you are a man, because you had nothing to do in taking birth as a man. You had nothing. It is not your merit. So it is showing something that is not a merit as if it were your merit. It is cheating. It is dishonest. And it is silly. Men realize it very, very easily. So they don't do it, number one. Number two reason is, when men say we are men, we are proud, etc., then they automatically are excluding women, which men do not want. Because men, when they see society, they see men and women. But how are women able to so vehemently and so openly say that men, we are women, we are good, we are great, we are this and that, without us nothing, no society is there, etc. So this kind of thinking, is it not toxic? When you say toxic masculinity, is it exclude some people, exclude the whole gender, one whole gender, men, and think only about yourself and self-obsess about it? It is. But you don't let people call that toxicity, because that is how the narrative is set. The mass men, I was looking at a video which says very clearly what are the elements of mass hypnotization. People study, people use their psychology studies, etc., etc. People and some other people pay these psychologists to devise methods how we can control people, how we can make group of people fight another group of people and make them occupied in that fighting, and let us loot the money that both are earning. Let us loot their labor. Let us divide the family and do this. So, see, if family is united, then we all benefit. If families are not united, businesses benefit, because both want to be independent Earlier it was one fan, now two fans will be purchased. Earlier it was one bed, two beds have to be purchased. Earlier it was one house, two houses have to be purchased. Earlier it was one car, like that. Now two people have to purchase cars. So this is a great division that businesses don't want families to survive, because in family there is strength. If the more strength the families have, the weaker the businesses get, the demand gets, the prices will be weaker. So it is in the business interest that we are divided. It is in our interest that we are united. Now women are not listening about that we need to show unity. See, any case, whether it is man or woman, irrespective of man or woman, if there is some injustice done, then that person has to be punished. As simple as that. So if all culprits are punished, what is the extra protest that we are doing for? Nothing. To make innocent people suffer or feel guilty or shame, that alone seems to be the agenda here. See, there is some horrible crime that happened in Kolkata or Delhi or anywhere. It is happening every day. But some cases just come out as glaring, and they show brutality and all of that. All men and women, both men and women, feel the same way about it. Okay, women feel a little more intensely because they are primarily feeling oriented, and also they have a certain fear that this might happen to me also. So they obviously will emote more than men. Fine, agree. Now if you come out on the streets by hundreds and thousands and lot of marches, etc., it has to stop, it has to stop, it has to stop. Crime on women must stop. Whenever you are saying that, you are saying men are doing it. Now when men, you are saying we are also men who are innocent, right? Who never did anything like that. How many men have done it? Very few men have done it. Now if very few men are done it, and that is designated crime, people will be put in jail, people will be punished anyway, then what is this extra that you are demanding? Okay, it has to stop altogether. If that is your demand, is it possible? Is it realistic? Now, who does not want it to stop? Tell me, who does not want it to stop? Everybody wants to stop it, right? If you say that it is men's responsibility to stop it, okay. This is the further argument that I am placing. If you think that men have failed in stopping it, preventing these things, then you take power. You take prime ministership, you take presidentship, you take police, you take military. Now can you stop it? You will stop it. You take 1 year time. After that, this should never happen anywhere. Okay? You have to try it. You see it. And if you are able to do it in one country, like say India, or even smaller countries, maybe like Bangladesh or any such smaller countries, if you show it, all over the country, all over the world, countries will come and study your model, how you have done it, and they will simply copy. And if you have been able to succeed, it is definite progress, and we are admitting that we are not able to prevent it. Zero. We are not able to make it zero. These things will happen. They will happen. Population is together. We have suggested many ways in which these things can be prevented. Men are saying those things that we suggest are oppressive in nature, are to control women, to take away freedom from women. Okay, if that is the case, then you be free. You do what you want. But it is also your duty to prevent this. No, you say that we don't want it to happen, and it is happening because of men's will. See, if men are living, if men are a reality, then they will have some will, right? They will do it. For example, counterpart for, see, men have physical aggression. Okay, what is the counterpart for in the women like that? Are you saying all women are saints? Are you saying all women tell only truth and never tell lies? Are you saying women don't cheat at all? Are you saying there are no crimes that women, there are no criminals? Will there be a time where women will never commit any crime? Nothing like that, right? Women are like that only. So if women will never commit any crime, nothing like that, right? Women are like that only. So if you see what is the counterpart for physical aggression in men, it is manipulative nature. Women can calculate in how many steps, in what kind of steps I can do what I want, I can make sure the outcome is what I want, and meanwhile I can use this person, that person, etc. and do it. Now this is there, I'm talking in a positive way. This is given to women because, for example, going back to cave days, I mean when we were living in caves, men obviously would protect women and family from lions and tigers, etc. in the cave. But if tiger anyway comes, then tiger has to be deceived, right? Or tiger, instinct is also developed that danger, to sense danger. Okay, because women are responsible for their children. I mean, more immediately so. Men are also responsible. Fathers are also responsible. But women, so they depend mostly on their instinct. Okay. So they want to always, they detect the danger. Okay. And then these are the kinds of gifts that God has given. So the physical aggression that a man possesses is also God's gift. The calculate, and I have to use the word manipulate some things, etc. For example, you don't hesitate, cheat the child into feeding him or her, feeding the child, right? See, while you are feeding food to the child, you will say so many things that are unrealistic, that are, that they are wrong, etc. But you simply don't care. You want the child to eat food, and you will say anything that is needed for that. This men cannot do it in the same way that you can do it. Now that doesn't mean women don't have physical aggression. Women have physical aggression. They use tools, that's it, right? So, and women are actually, you see what? If a man sees somebody as his enemy, he would show it, he would fight it out and finish it off. If a woman sees somebody as her enemy, she will not show it. She will see to it that ultimately she will win. She will remember that. She will calculate, conspire, manipulate things into seeing that enemy is defeated ultimately. Okay. So this is toxicity in a woman, and there is toxicity in a man, if you want to call them toxicity. But actually they are gifts from God so that we can survive. But if you say that this is toxic, then you have to say that this is toxic also. So both toxicity need to be toxic things need to be eliminated if you want to eliminate. That's not happening. That is not being demanded. What is being demanded is only that one kind of toxicity should be eliminated. This is the whole problem. This is why it is manipulative that one particular group of people celebrate the division. If you celebrate the unity, that's fine. If you celebrate the division alone and you don't celebrate the unity, that clearly shows this is wrong and unjust. And that is what I wanted to point it. So if there is toxic masculinity, there needs to be toxic femininity in some way, right? What is that? Recognize it, state it, this is our toxicity, and we will avoid that, we will eliminate that. And then we will also eliminate this toxicity. But you can, how will you decide what is toxic in a man? Because that affects you, right? So similarly, we will decide what is toxic femininity in women. And are you ready to recognize that as toxicity? If not, what equality are you talking about, right? If not, what equality are you talking about? So, are you actually willing to discuss these things on live television and let the whole country or the whole world talk about it? No. You know you don't want fairness. You see, what happens is, when you think something is right, you just go for it. You protest, you shout, you break things apart. Anybody that is saying anything against you, whether it is right or wrong, you want to put that person down. I've seen even in, I've seen this tendency myself with my own eyes also. If somebody, anybody, be it even a big or small or large, there is no size difference, there is no difference. Anybody who is stating something that is opposed to what you want to achieve, that is your enemy. You will all together destroy that person. Whether it is fair or not is absolutely of no consequence for you. This is the toxicity that we see it. So it has to be called out, and people have to take risks to call that out. And if nobody does it, a parent has to do it. Yeah, a parent has to be willing to face consequences of disciplining children and showing some sort of justice to children. If I have to do it, I will have to do it. And therefore I am trying to point it out. We are open for a discussion that is on the basis of rationality and for justice, and that is recorded, and that should be available for the whole society to participate. We can set aside all our excitement and emotions and feelings, etc., our bad experiences. We can bring them and then we can discuss them. But on that basis, if we cannot be conclusive and closed about them and then come into discussion. Because if you are coming into discussion, it means that you are open. If you are already closed, then I am also open. If it can be proved that everything that I said is wrong, or even whatever thing that can be proved that it is wrong, whatever I am holding, I am ready to change, but it has to be proved substantially that it is wrong. So, are you also willing? Then we can have this discussion, because democracy works only when there is discussion. While discussing, we educate ourselves and so many people, and this is the fair method, right? I don't know any other method. If you have any other method other than just shouting and just being loud with whatever you already decided as true, etc., that is just rowdyism. I have to call it out. I'm sorry. It's not me who wants to use these words, but the data shows that. So thank you.